Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on in, shall we? Uh, Before we get started, I do have a bit of a cough, so I might be drinking water here and there or clearing my throat. So forgive me for that, guys. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our game news. And our first game news topic is regarding Battlefield 6 Battle Royale gameplay leaks again. Now let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's go ahead and take a look at this little clip. Now, mind you, I can't make it full screen because I'm having issues here, but if you guys want, I'll have this article and everything in the description down below so you guys could take a look at it for yourself if you're interested in seeing it. But let me go ahead and play this and give you guys some details. Maybe I can zoom in here like this. There we go. Let's go ahead and make it a little bigger. But the leaked Battlefield clip showcases play test showing players navigating warehouse environments, looting gear, dodging enemy fire, and using upgraded kits, drawing a comparison to Warzone style mechanics. While EA hasn't confirmed the date, sources suggest that the Battle Royale mode may launch on October 28th, 2025, shortly after the core game releases on October 10th for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X. Battlefield Studios acknowledges the inevitability of leaks due to the open testing strategy, prioritizing real player data, telemetry, yeah, to refine gameplay before the launch. So they're understanding that they're going to be getting leaks for this game, which makes a lot of sense as they're having it being a pretty open test as far as my knowledge is concerned. And yeah, that makes sense. And it's free advertisement for them because stuff like this gets players excited. That little clip was very interesting. It does feel a bit Warzone esque, but kind of more Battlefield. I mean, that's kind of what you want for a game like this. But let me know what you guys thought of this gameplay. Does it excite you to see these leaks and these clips? And are you excited that we're gonna get possibly the release of it on October 28th, so close to the release of the actual Battlefield game itself on October 10th? I can't wait to get this game. I want to play the campaign more than I want multiplayer personally. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are you more excited for when it comes to Battlefield? The campaign, the multiplayer, or this Battle Royale system? Let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is basically under the rumor mill, so take what I say with a grain of salt because nothing has been confirmed for this story. But the story is the next God of War game may explore Egyptian mythology. Now, this is something that has been rumored for quite some time here. So let's go ahead and break down some of the details from this article. Excuse me, guys. A credible insider claims that the next mainline God of War will shift to Egyptian mythology, a long requested direction for Santa Monica Studios, previously considered for the 2018 reboot. Kratos is rumored to wield a curved Egyptian sword, possibly a scimitar, forgive me if I'm pronouncing these wrong, or a hesfes, suggesting a deep immersion in regime lore and combat style. Following Ragnarok, Atreus may take on the lead role while Kratos appears in a supporting capacity. The game is still years away with no official confirmation or release window. Now, if you want to know what the sword that they're speaking of is, I think there's a picture right here that Tyr has. I think this is the Hesfes, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably pronouncing that horribly wrong. My apologies, guys. But yeah, as far as the story being Egyptian mythology, that makes sense. They kind of introduced that in the Norse mythology. They introduced two other kind of mythologies, including Egyptian, and I think Egyptian would be the best one to lean towards because I would love to see not only that art style, but to see Kratos like face off or work with like Anubis and crazy Egyptian gods of that sort, Ra and everyone else over in that pantheon. But the other thing that was interesting about this article is them saying that Atreus may take over a leading role. Now, while I understand that might be where the series goes as Kratos kind of ages out of the main character role, I do think that's a bit of a mistake if they lean forward to that for their next game. I think the next game should probably highlight Kratos as a main character and have Atreus be either dual leading or the supporting character. And then going into the game after that, probably letting Atreus take over as the lead. And the only reason I feel that way is because when you go into new styles of games, you kind of want to focus on your original lead because that's what's drawing all the players to the game. A good example of this would be Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I feel like they made a little bit of a mistake leading too much into the newer characters. Don't get me wrong, I like The Force Awakens. However, Last Jedi and everything else aside, The Force Awakens I thought was a good reintroduction to Star Wars. The problem with it that I had, and I think a lot of most people did have, is we didn't know these new characters. We know Atreus, luckily, but we don't know him as well as we know Kratos. So I think having us play as Kratos, falling more in love with Atreus as a man now, being able to fight and handle all these challenges, falling in love with his character, and then letting him take over lead role, what I think would be more beneficial. That's just my opinion, though. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited to see God of War lean towards the Egyptian mythology, or do you want them to do another pantheon? Also, would you like to see Atreus take over as the lead character, or do you think he should be supporting for the next game and then maybe the game after that take over as the lead role? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 surpassing 2 million units sold in Japan and outpacing its competitors, which is great for the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm sure they're excited at things going on over there. Let's go ahead and break down what this article has to say. The Nintendo Switch 2 has sold over 2 million units in Japan, accounting for roughly one third of the global sales of its 6 million units. Weekly sales in Japan reached 44,000 units, far exceeding those of the Switch OLED and the PS5 models, including an 8-time lead over the PS5 Pro. Nintendo is reportedly struggling to meet Japan's demands, suggesting the sales could climb even higher with improved inventory availability. I think this is absolutely phenomenal for the Nintendo. Obviously, the Switch has its own niche and almost its own market in the game industry, which is really beneficial with their exclusives like Mario and everything else they got going on over there. So, congratulations to them for selling so well. But let me know what you guys think of them selling over 44,000 on a weekly basis. And do you think, without the tariffs and things of that sort, do you think that the US market would have matched that at some point, or do you think we're not in a position where we'd be at that point? I'm very curious to know what you guys think about that. As far as me, I haven't bought one because I haven't had a game that I really want to play. I'm sure as soon as there's a game that I super want to play on the console, I'll be out there purchasing it. But let me know what you guys think. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is regarding Cyberpunk 2 may feature multiplayer, reviving CD Projekt Red's scrapped online ambitions. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Um, Not much details as far as what the game 2 will be. However, a job posting listing on for Cyberpunk 2 codename Orion reveals that CD Projekt Red is actively building a multiplayer system including matchmaking, latency optimization, and server architectures. The sequel is being developed primarily by CD Projekt Red's Boston office, while the Polish team focuses on The Witcher 4. Multiplayer was originally planned for Cyberpunk 2077, but was abandoned post launch to stabilize the core game. The sequel may aim to fulfill the long standing vision. Essentially, the first game was supposed to have multiplayer aspects, but because of how the release date was with all the bugs and the crazy crashes and things like that that everyone saw, they decided to abandon that, and now they look like they're going to be picking it up for this sequel game. I think this is awesome to hear. I can't understand how they would implement it to be multiplayer, whether that be combat. I don't know what they would end up doing multiplayer wise for this game. I'm hoping more of like a co-op esque thing, which would be a lot of fun. You know, you and your friend kind of go in and take down a syndicate or whatever. But I do think this is awesome. I think the Cyberpunk turned out to be a really phenomenal game. I was happy I had the opportunity to play it after all the bugs and everything were fixed, and I had a great time with the story. And Keanu Reeves was phenomenal. You know, a game is good when you sit down in a diner as a player and you let the characters talk for over like 25 minutes just to hear what dialogue is going on. to understand the more in depth of the story. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, a lot of campaigns and stuff don't capture me anymore. I tend to listen to podcasts, put on headphones, listen to music while I'm playing campaign games because the stories just don't grasp me or aren't that interesting to me. So the fact that a game like this was able to do that, so I'm very curious what they're going to end up doing with this new Cyberpunk game, and I'm also very curious how they're going to implement the multiplayer aspect. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Are you hoping for like a multiplayer team deathmatch type of multiplayer thing, or what are you guys looking to see with Cyberpunk 2? All that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move over to our next game news topic. And our next game news topic is 40 games shown during the September 6th. Oh, September 6/1 Indie Showcase. Sorry, it's called 6/1 Indie Showcase, not September 6th. Forgive me. But the 6/1 Indie Showcase showed over 40 games recently in their past showcase. So let's go ahead and take a look at what some of those games are. Now, again, I'll have this in the description down below if you guys are interested in checking out what these are. But I thought, we always highlight a lot of bigger games and stuff like that, like Battlefield and stuff. So and Cyberpunk. So I think it'd be nice to showcase some indie games. Now, mind you, I'm not gonna read you guys this whole 40 list of games, and I honestly haven't checked out every single one of them. But if you guys are interested in any of these games, go ahead and look in the description. It'll take you to the Game Informer, and go ahead and look up these games yourself if any of them kind of stand out to you. There's a little bit of a detailed breakdown for each and every one of them if you guys want to check them out. But for me, as far as what stood out for me, it was let's go ahead. Where was that game? Did I pass it already? Oh, Fallen Fates looks pretty interesting to me. Also, there was one more. It wasn't the 40th game. 40th game. Which one was it? I'm sorry, guys. I passed it while I was talking. Where is it at? It's kind of like the image from the top of this article. Where was it? There it is. Chris Chrysal Theater Odious. Oh my goodness. This one. This one looks cool. I like the art style. I can't read today. Anyways, guys, all that being said, if you guys are interested in checking out some of these indie games, again, take a look at it for yourself and let us know what indie game interests you the most out of these 40 games, and what are you excited to check out for yourself. All right, guys, that does it for our game news topics. Let's go ahead and move on to our movie news topics of the day. And our first movie news topic of the day is regarding Perea. I hope I'm saying his name right. Brandon Perea has been cast as the lead in Insidious 6. The sequel is set for August 2026 release. That it would be this gentleman here is going to be taking over as lead for the next Insidious film. Brandon Perea from Nope and Twisters has been tapped as the male lead in Insidious 6, joining. Oh, sorry, guys. Joining the cast that includes Emil Eva Lynn Shaye. I'm pronouncing these. And look up the cast. Anyways, directed by Jacob Chase and written by David Leslie Johnson. The film is produced by veterans James. Oh, sorry. Horror veterans Jason Blum, James Wan, and Leo Wanell. Filming is underway in Australia currently. Sony Pictures will release the sequel on August 21st, 2026. The Insidious franchise has grossed over 740 million globally across 5 films since its debut 15 years ago. My apologies, guys, for butchering that. My dyslexia is kind of kicking in hard, so hopefully we can get through this without too many stumbles. But yeah, I think Insidious is great after what just happened with The Conjuring doing so well. I think the Insidious franchise is while not as good as Conjuring, I do think they are not far behind what they have going on with The Conjuring. So it makes sense for them to be producing a 6th and probably a 7th film, and hopefully it turns out just as well. But are you guys excited to check out Insidious 6, and are you excited for Brandon Perea's casting? Me personally, I don't know him that well, and I don't really interested in his career, sadly, but I think it's great opportunity for him to take over a franchise like Insidious as I think that guy from Conjuring is in both, if I'm not mistaken, but he's kind of moved on, I think. But I'd be more interested in seeing where the story is going to go. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic of the day. And our next movie news topic is regarding Martin Scorsese is set to direct What Happens at Night. What Happens at Night? Yeah. Anyways, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. And Apple is in talks to produce the film. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Excuse me. Martin Scorsese will direct What Happens Next, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, the film adaptation of Peter Carmen's airy novel, and is set to begin production in January of 2026. Apple Original Films is negotiating to finance and produce the project alongside Studio Canal, which developed which developed the script by Patrick Marber. Anyways, Apple previously worked with Scorsese on Killers of the Flower Moon. The story follows the American couple. I'm sorry, the story for this movie follows an American couple in a snowy European town trying to adopt a child, only to encounter serial characters unraveling truths in a deserted hotel, echoing psychological tones uh, reminiscent of of Shutter Island. Oh my god, my dyslexia really is kicking in today, guys. Again, my apologies. But this story does sound very interesting. Of course, I love Martin Scorsese as director. Leonardo DiCaprio is phenomenal, and so is Jennifer Lawrence. So seeing all three of them team up for a film like this is going to be very interesting, and I'm very interested in checking out what this story has to offer. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think this story sounds interesting, and would it be something you are interested in checking out for yourselves? Let me go ahead and drink some water here, guys, so I don't kill myself. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic. And our next movie news topic is a little bit leaning into the music industry, kind of. Let's go ahead and take a look here. It looks like Taylor Swift's release party of a Showgirl film hits theaters on October 3rd with music video premiere and album commentary. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this article has to say regarding this. Again, I'll have everything in the description down below if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. But that being said, it looks like Taylor Swift, the official release party of the Showgirl will hit theaters, including all AMC locations, from October 3rd to 5th, coinciding with the release of her 12th studio album. The Life of a Showgirl is a let's see the oh her album is The Life of a Showgirl. Sorry. The 89-minute theatrical experience includes a premiere of the Fate of Ophelia, music video, behind the scenes footage, lyrical videos, and Taylor Swift's personal reflection on the album's songs. Internally, hold on. International screenings will span over 100 countries. The tickets special with tickets being specially priced at $12 and fans encouraged to sing and dance during the show. Those safety rules will be enforced to maintain order, of course. I think this is really, really interesting because Taylor Swift is a billionaire and she has a ridiculous following. So to see her wanting to release something like this in theaters, I'd be very interested to see how it does. I think it's going to be including not all AMC locations like they said here, but I think more like 540 AMC locations, if I'm not mistaken. And with the $12 price tag, if they sell out all theaters, I'd be very curious to see what it does opening weekend at the box office. But I just thought this story was very interesting to see other aspects that theaters can take to bring in funding, to bring in crowds. Something like this I think would be not only beneficial for Taylor Swift's career but also for the movie theater industry itself. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Would you guys be checking out this Taylor Swift theatrical release of her album debut, or are you guys not interested? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Go ahead and move over to our next movie news topic of the day. And our next movie news topic is regarding Matt Reeves teases unused villain in the Batman 2, promising a deep dive into Bruce Wayne's past. Now, we've recently talked about some of Matt Reeves' comments regarding the next movie diving into more Bruce Wayne than Batman himself, but there was a detail that I had missed and I thought it was very interesting here. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Director Matt Reeves reveals that the sequel will center around Bruce Wayne's personal history and emotional path rather than just his vigilante personality. Reeves confirms the main antagonist has never been done in a movie before. That's his quote. Uh, un hold on. Never been done in a movie before, ruling out some foes like the Joker, Penguin, Two Face, and hinting at lesser known threats like Hugo Strange, The Court of Owls, and Hush. The film begins in spring of 2026, the Batman 2 slated for theatrical release on October 1st, 2027. So, as I mentioned previously, the fact that the story is going to be a Bruce Wayne story, I had already assumed that it was going to be the Court of Owls, but this kind of makes it more certain that it's going to be the Court of Owls for me, and let me explain why. So the way that Hush works, the Hush storyline works, it's kind of like a someone that gets surgery and becomes Bruce Wayne. So a bit of spoilers there for that story. My apologies, but that storyline I don't think you can really do right off the bat because it's kind of too much going on. There might be a bit too confusion with having like two Bruce Waynes running around. But with the Court of Owls, it really dives not only into the history of Gotham, but the history of the Wayne family and Gotham. And that's kind of what the first movie did with seeing how Carmine Falcone handled Bruce Wayne and his father and things of that sort. So they kind of already delved into that in the first movie, so it makes sense for the Court of Owls to be the main villain for this next movie. As far as Hugo Strange, I can't really see an aspect of how that's a personal attack on Bruce Wayne himself, his character. There's no really personal story there that I can recall from the comic books. And just some other Batman villains. Let's go ahead and look up a list of Batman villains, shall we? So here are some other Batman villains. So we can take a look here and see what we have here. So he says not really. So we've seen the Joker, we've seen Bane, we've seen Catwoman, we've seen Penguin, we saw Poison Ivy back in the day. We haven't seen Talia al Ghul, but we have seen Ra's al Ghul, so maybe not Talia. Two Face, Hugo Strange, we have not seen. The Riddler, we have seen. Scarecrow, we've seen. Deadshot we haven't seen, which I think would be a very interesting one to do. But let me. I mean, we've seen him in Suicide Squad, but we haven't seen him in a Batman one. Deathstroke, which would be very interesting. We have seen Mr. Freeze. Jason Todd, I don't think they'll be going Robin routes for this one. Harley Quinn, which we've seen before, but more with the Joker. Ra's al Ghul, we've seen. And here are some other ones like Hush and Clayface and other ones like that. But they don't have the Court of Owls here because it's a whole group, but the Court of Owls would be another aspect of that. But I think the most interesting one here would possibly be Deathstroke. Now, a very interesting part of his comment here is specifically never really been done. So I'm curious what he means by never really been done. Does that mean that they've hinted at it? Like, for example, Deadshot, they kind of hinted at him at the Suicide Squad, but didn't really delve deep to him in the movie for a Batman? Or are they talking about Bane, which, I mean, they've done Bane, but not the Lucho Mexican smart guy that they've done before. He's mostly been second fiddle, so maybe that. Maybe Talia al Ghul because they've done Ra's al Ghul but haven't really done her. So I'm very curious what he meant by not really done. What I think he meant by that personally is I think he meant that by the animated films. We have seen Hush animated film. We have seen the Court of Owls animated film. We have seen Deathstroke in animated films before, but we have not seen them in live action. So he either means that not really, meaning we've seen them, but we haven't seen them fight Batman, or he means not really, like we've seen animated versions, but not live action versions. That's personally what I think. And obviously, I think, judging from my opening here, it will definitely be the Court of Owls. Mark it here. If I'm wrong, I will let you guys know, and I hope I'm not, but I could be, but we'll see what ends up happening. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who will be the next Batman villain? Think it's going to be the Court of Owls like I do, or do you think it'll be something else, or like Hush or Deathstroke? And what storyline of the comics can be told regarding Bruce Wayne personally that I didn't think of? Let me know what you guys think. All that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our last movie news topic of the day. And our last movie news topic is Disney Plus renews Deadpool Born Again for a season 3. Filming will begin in early 2026. So, before this, we haven't even gotten season 2. It's not out yet. I think they're in the middle of production currently. If not, they've just wrapped or something like that. Here we go. Despite early comments suggesting that season 2 might be the final chapter, Disney Plus has officially greenlighted season 3 of Deadpool Born Again. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio will reprise their roles, with filming set to begin in early 2026. The ensemble also includes John Bernthal, Dobra Ann Woll, forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Eden Henson. The show first season earned about 87% on Rotten Tomatoes. Praised for its emotional depth and gritty storytelling centering about Matt Murdock's internal struggles. So here's the thing. I feel that Daredevil Born Again, because it didn't do that well when it came to streaming numbers, but I feel like it didn't do that well because there was a lot of confusion going on. It had to kind of save the show. Initially, they were going to completely ignore all the things that happened on Netflix and kind of tell their own story moving forward, recasting characters except for Matt Murdock and Vincent D'Onofrio's character in Deadpool and Kingpin. I said Matt Murdock, didn't I? I meant Charlie Cox. Anyways, all that being said, so I think that the initial show was very disappointing because they had to make so many changes with so many less episodes and things like that. But that just means that season 2 is looking really, really good if they've already greenlit season 3. That or they just believe in this story and they want to continue it with these characters. I think there's a lot going on, especially with season 2. Hopefully we get more episodes, but leading into a season 3 I think would be awesome. I hope they didn't do something crazy like split season 2 into like 2 parts to make it 2 separate seasons, because I'm getting annoyed at all the shows only having freaking 8 episodes. We should have like 12 to 20 episodes, because that's what we're used to with crazy ongoing shows on TV. I think that would be more beneficial for the studios because you get longer time subscribers and less churn. If you don't know what churn is, it's when you subscribe to something to watch something and then cancel your subscription. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm excited. I've loved the Deadpool Born Again, and I can't wait to see what they do for these next 2 seasons, and hopefully they turn out really well. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited that Deadpool Born Again has got greenlit for a season 3 ahead of season 2? All right, guys, and that does it. That's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember, stay true, be odd.